Good morning, everybody. My name is Kim and I go to Christ Central. I'm going to read to you this morning Psalm 26. I really love this psalm. It's a very rich psalm and there's a lot in it. So I'm not going to read it quickly. I'm going to read it really slowly so you can really take it in. And I'm just going to say a few words afterwards. And I'm going to read it from a real Bible, not a digital one. Declare me innocent, O Lord, for I have acted with integrity. I have trusted in the Lord without wavering. Put me on trial, Lord, and cross-examine me. Test my motives and affections, for I am constantly aware of your unfailing love, and I have lived according to your truth. I do not spend time with liars or go along with hypocrites. I hate the gatherings of those who do evil, and I refuse to join in with those who do. I wash my hands to declare my innocence. I come to your altar, O Lord, singing a song of thanksgiving and telling of all your miracles. I love your sanctuary, Lord, the place where your glory shines. Don't let me suffer the fate of sinners. Don't condemn me along with murderers. Their hands are dirty with wicked schemes, and they constantly take bribes. But I am not like that. I do what is right. So in your mercy, save me. I have taken a stand and I will publicly praise the Lord. So that's Psalm 26. When I read verses kind of 1 and 2, I thought, well, that's a bit strange. He's kind of claiming to be very innocent and like he's done nothing wrong in his life. And I thought, gosh, he's had an affair with Bathsheba. He's arranged to have her husband killed. I thought, well, this is sounding a bit like a sin if I ever heard one. And then when we go back over what Elaine read yesterday, back in Psalm 25, he actually admits his many, many sins, and he actually asks for the Lord's forgiveness. And I did wonder if perhaps he was actually talking about his behaviour in relationship to Saul, King Saul. At the time, King Saul was persecuting him. His government and armies were after him, trying to kill him. But because David believed that Saul was chosen by God, he wouldn't kind of retaliate, and he kind of turned the other cheek, and he almost tried to protect Saul. And on one occasion, when he had a chance to actually creep into Saul's camp, he was right by Saul asleep, and he could have killed him just like that. But he said, "No, stop! You're not going to do that. He's one of God's chosen ones, and I'm not going to behave like that." So David really, really did believe that Saul needed protecting, even though Saul was clearly after him all the time, trying to harm him. So David, in this situation, was behaving with integrity. I also thought that perhaps David must have believed that God had forgiven his kind of past sins, because he talks about kind of asking for forgiveness of his sins of his youth. He goes on to talk about not mixing with liars and hypocrites. And I think at this point, he's trying to kind of show God that he's not like how he was before, that he's changed and he's kind of repented. Sort of towards the end, he actually talks a lot about, in this Psalm 25, he talks a lot about his amazement at the love of God and the joy that he receives, being able to kind of wash his hands and be clean and go into the God's sanctuary, the temple, and be completely clean and be in the presence of the Lord, and the joy that brings him. And he just wants to praise the Lord. He just wants to worship the Lord. And at the end, he talks about standing on solid ground, and he's actually asking for God's mercy and his redemption. And it really shows that he really loved and trusted the Lord, and he had a good heart. And he really trusted God in everything that he was going through in his life. And I think it's really important, looking at our own lives, that we trust in the Lord, whatever we've done in the past, to ask for God's forgiveness and just lay ourselves before the Lord, and the Lord will forgive us, and we'll be able to kind of move on from that point and get a lot of support and love and mercy from the Lord in whatever trials we're going through. So that's really all I have to say about Psalm 26. Thank you, everybody.